Hi, I want to share why we launched Evergreen Leadership Academy back in 2018, September 2018. And to get the full picture, you really have to go back to November 2010 when we took over Dreams Indoor Playland with the intention of starting a school one day. The business name was Evergreen Leadership Educational Limited back in 2010, October, whenever we registered. And really to get a sense of why I followed this path, you've got to go back 10 years previous to that and look at my initial intro into teaching, which was actually a job offer to teach billiards to kids in this elementary school. It had high school as well, but my specific role was to teach billiards to grade 1 to 8 students. And then shortly after, I was offered an opportunity to build a geography curriculum for grades 3 to 8 and teach a grade 11 health course, Healthy Active Living. PPL 30 was the course code. And back then, I never really thought I'd be a teacher, but I definitely liked pool. I was into pool. I was completing my university degree. I was in my 4th year at university, finishing my degree with aspirations of going into environmental policy and law and maybe business of some kind. That was the idea. There was this program that was a mix of business and environmental law, and so I didn't really know that I would take this path, but it kind of found me. And my first experience working with children was in a billiard room in this relatively small school. The room had 3 pool tables and a snooker table, and I was in love with the experience. I really enjoyed inspiring children to learn billiards, and once I was offered more full-time position, I went all in. I threw myself in fully. I was working crazy hours. I was a bit of a workaholic, and I managed to, with time, get into the administration of the school, and I learned a lot. And what I learned more than anything else is how ineffective and inefficient even a highly regarded, or you can argue highly regarded, school can be. Like private school, we were offering 4 languages starting in grade 1. We offered geography and history as separate subjects starting in grade 3. We separated the sciences into separate subjects. But what ended up happening is students would come in and their day was very prescribed, class to class to class to class. And the energy and atmosphere of the school wasn't as healthy as it may have appeared. Optics wise, it looked good, it sold well. When I gave parents a tour of the school, there were these amazing talking points I could hit, and it sold really well, but the atmosphere of the school was very different. The energy between the students, the energy between the students and staff, and there was this feeling that these children didn't really have the freedom that their souls really wanted. And at the end of the day, I felt like the learning that was happening was inefficient, ineffective, and I wanted to do something bigger and better. And when we launched, and I wanted to, it's a long story, I won't go into the details, but when we launched the school in 2018, this was on the foundation of all that experience that I developed working at Greenhill and being an administrator there, and ultimately a principal towards the end, and also the years of experiencing running camp programs, after school programming, having a daycare here for a short period of time, a couple years of half-day daycare program. And so we built a pretty healthy following here, and we were exposed to students from all kinds of different schools, and the whole time I'm thinking, how do we build a school that really makes sense for children? I was doing research on brain development, how to talk to children, and a lot of different models from around the world, and one of the models that really spoke to me was the Finland model, where they reduced the amount of instructional time, they offered children more freedom, no homework, no testing, and they were super successful. And so when we launched in 2018, that was the idea, is like, how do we make learning more effective and more efficient and keep growing and keep improving? And so that journey has led me to going through the ups and downs of running the school and trying to understand what works, what doesn't, and bending to the will of parents and changing our school and not really having a strong identity until we discovered Apogee. And last year we became an Apogee affiliate, but we were more of a hybrid. We were holding on to sort of old ways of doing things while trying to introduce this new model. But in September 2025, will be the turning point for us, where we go in to the year as a fully aligned Apogee affiliate. And I'm so excited to be able to create something that really speaks to the children, trains them for life, not just for school, and helps them connect their spirit to purpose. And that's really what I think schools should be doing more than anything else.